Hi, my name is Rick. I served in the Navy for 8 years in the submarine force and transitioned out, and thought I might provide some of the learnings that I had on what to do during and for job interviews. So there's a couple of don'ts and there are a couple of do's, and maybe more than a couple. This is just my short list. So first off, don't be so formal in the job interviews. I know military customs tend to have people be more formal and have professional courtesy in saying sir and ma'am, for example. Actually, avoid saying those. The interview is much more of a conversation and a get to know you, not so much as a very formal thing. So in that vein, also don't sit real rigid. Don't sit like you're at attention or anything. Be relaxed, but respectful. So don't be slouching, but be comfortable, and don't use any acronyms that anyone I guess your grandmother wouldn't understand. So don't use any acronyms. Stay away from those. So those are some of the don'ts. What you should do is definitely answer the questions and answer them right away and up front, and then back it up with more information. So, for example, someone asks you what's the most challenging situation you faced. For example, don't tell them the whole story that leads up to it. Say, most challenging situation was when I had a small team that was under fire in this particular place, and I managed to get everyone out. And then say, and I'll tell you why it was particularly challenging, and then go into the details. Do be conversational. So allow the conversation to move. Don't answer a question and just cut it off. You can also ask people questions during the interview. That's actually pretty helpful. Interviewers feel like it's much more of a conversation if you ask questions. So if they ask you one, you answer it and say, I actually had another example of that if you're interested, or something like that. So keep it conversational. They're thinking, part of what's in their mind is, would they want to be stuck in an airport with you for 3 hours waiting for a flight? So make them feel like you're someone that you can have a conversation with. Another critical thing to do in interviews, and probably one of the most important things, is come in with very concrete examples of things that show off your abilities to either lead or get things done. But think ahead in interviews. Think back to your past. Are there things that you've got awards for, medals or citations, or even just something that you're really personally proud of that you got done and accomplished, even if you didn't get any citation for it? And distill those experiences down to stories that you can tell that highlight your strengths and abilities. That's really powerful. So when someone asks you your strengths, for example, or asks you what was the most important thing that you've accomplished, you've got some real good meaty examples that you've thought through, and you've practiced on how to say them. So the other thing to do is to make sure you go through this with a friend, a buddy, preferably someone who doesn't have a lot of military experience, but as opposed to just a civilian experience, and have a conversation with them and go through some interview questions. Write down your answers ahead of time. Practice saying them. Practice, 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 and you'll do well. So good luck, and thanks for your service.